So just a quick look at the battle pass. This is the basic battle pass. And once you get the battle pass, you're going to have these instant rewards here. Of all of these, you're going to have 10% battle pass XP boost, which is good because you have the battle pass. You have a weapon sticker. You have a finishing move, which we'll check out right now. It's pretty cool. Just kicks him into the grave. That's what's up. And you also get this blueprint for the SOG. And I know a lot of people aren't super excited about that, but the SOG did get a buff in the recent update. So maybe it's viable and you can actually use the blueprint. Moving along, you will also get this operator. And it looks like he does have a black cell variant, but we will come back to that as we look at the black cell. Doesn't let us preview him. Yes, it does.
Just so we're clear, we do this my way.
So this is Mace. You remember him from the first Warzone. Him and his cool like tattoos and all that stuff. And there is a black cell variant of him, and we'll come back and look at that in a moment. Moving along. Then you have the locked items that start on page 1. It looks like you're going to get a tank spray. Not that great. Looks like you get a blueprint for a shotgun. Looks like you... What is this guy? Is this an operator? Let's see. Oh, so you get the emote of him juggling the mortars. So that's kind of cool. Looks like you get some double XP here. You get also a pistol. I think this is the black cell variant, but... Oh, no. So you get the pistol. Battle pass purchase required. So you get the pistol and looks like a calling card here. So that's kind of cool. Not the best one ever, but looks like the World at War calling card. And it looks like you have an emblem here. And you also get this weapon blueprint. This is not the coolest one. There is a battle pass variant, which looks like an engine, which is kind of cool. Moving on to page 2, you get some CP points. Looks like you get some dog tags. Looks like you get some nunchucks for a melee weapon. It's kind of cool. Looks like you get a blueprint for the old timer marksman rifle, the TR2. I don't think a lot of people are using this weapon, but I think it did get a buff, so at least you know that. Looks like you get some double weapon XP tokens. You have a choice in a reticle and some gobble gums. Page locked. Claim 3 more, obviously. Free. Oh, so this you actually will unlock anyways with or without the battle pass. But this reticle, you will need the battle pass. I don't know why anyone would want this reticle, but it's there nonetheless. And we do have the Hudson operator here. He also has a black cell variant, which we'll come back to. We'll go ahead and review him.
Another day in the shit, gentlemen.
Nothing special about this guy. He's pretty cool though. But at least we are kind of going back towards the milsim type of Call of Duty operators instead of, you know, the bunny foo-foos jumping around shooting unicorns at you. So that's good. Let's continue. Looks like we have another blueprint, most wanted MVP for the Ames 85. The Ames 85 is a really good weapon, actually. It got a lot of buffs as well. It's kind of cool. Has that cool, like, goldish, brownish shimmer to it. Looks like it'd be a pretty viable blueprint to use. Moving on, it looks like you have an emblem, a bouncing Hajabachi or Hachibachi, whatever you call those things that we had back in the day. You had to keep them alive. That's kind of cool. Looks like we have here a calling card. Oh, that's awesome. And by this calling card, you know that you're going to be able to throw the C4 and blow up a chopper with one click, which we already talked about. But let's move on. Looks like we have a sticker here. Looks like we have some double XP that you're going to get anyways, with or without the battle pass. Looks like you have some Woods Stance spray. So these are going to be OP because you can spray them on the wall. If you remember back in Warzone 1, you could spray them on the wall up the stairs or something, and someone could come and shoot at them using them as a decoy. So this is actually kind of OP to have those stickers. Moving on, you have the Mac Daddy HDR that you know you open at the end of page 7. You know we've got to review that bad boy. Look at this gorgeous, sweet piece of juiciness right here. And it is one shot at infinite range. So that's fantastic. Look at this. Let you soak that up. Look at it. Look at her. Look at her shimmer. And there are some other options in the black cell for this weapon as well that we will get into very soon. Moving on to page 4, we get some double XP. You get a melee hatchet, which you can throw. You get some CP tokens towards a battle pass. And it looks like we have another blueprint for the assault rifle, the Cypher. This thing did get a little bit of a nerf, but also a buff. It got a nerf, whereas the range is not so good, but a buff in the damage. So the damage went up a good bit. So this gun is still viable, and this is a blueprint if you want to use that. Moving on, it looks like we have a weapon charm, which looks like something out of Star Wars. If you're a Star Wars fan, what is this? Quad support. It looks like the thing from Star Wars that the little dudes like ride in. It's like a big city and it walks but also drives kind of thing. Yeah, you can roast me on that if you want. I'm not huge on Star Wars, but that's what that looks like to me. It looks like we also have an calling card for engage hostiles from Black Ops 2. That's kind of cool. Not that great. I don't care much about that, but it looks like we do have another operator here, and we'll go ahead and preview that for you.
This is it. Ready to make history?
Looks pretty cool. I will feel like this operator will be very easily seen in Verdansk unless you're in the north part of the map above dam where you have the frozen water, or any of those places where the ice is there. I think this is going to stick out like a sore thumb in any other place of the map, but nonetheless you have him, and he does have a battle pass variant, Black Cell battle pass variant, which we will come back to. So let's go ahead and keep looking. This is something extremely important, and if you remember from my previous video that is right there, you know that you need this to get the Growl, which is going to be the most broken weapon, one of the most broken weapons in the game. So you have to unlock it, and I'm about to unlock it as well so that I can use it. And this is the kit that you can put on the Growl, put on the 5.56. It says it right here. SWAT 5.56 conversion kit that you put on the Growl. It gives you a magazine and I think a barrel. I think you get the barrel and the magazine. If you remember the Archangel barrel back in Warzone 1 where you had that nice thin sight, I think this is what that gives you. Moving on, we have a grenade, which is sprinkles and blue. So it's a grenade skin. But yeah, it's a frag skin. Interesting. I think this is the first frag skin I've seen in a battle pass. That's kind of cool. Not my favorite frag skin, but nonetheless, we have it. It also looks like you're going to, this is kind of a cool blueprint for the C9 SMG. That's kind of cool. I kind of dig it. It's like shiny. It looks like it's maybe for like the high trip, or it looks like it has like some candy on here. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure which event that is for. Nonetheless, there is a C9 blueprint that you will get actually for free without spending your points on the battle pass. So keep that in mind. Looks like we have a large decal here. It looks like it's a reference for like Call of Duty Warzone just in general. Nothing fancy about that. Looks like we have Celebration. What is this? A cake? It's an emblem. So Warzone Celebration is an emblem you can put on your weapon. It's kind of cool. Not the best thing ever. Moving on. It looks like we have a finishing move. And that's basically it right there. It looks like you trip your opponent with the sledgehammer and then implode their head. So you have that. Moving on, we have another blueprint for an SMG, which I'm not a huge fan of, but the fact that you get this camo, if you remember this camo, you remember the camo. Let me know in the comments if you remember the name of this camo. But I don't think a lot of LMGs are being used these days. I personally don't like LMGs, but nonetheless, you do have a blueprint for it. Was it Damascus? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. And there is a Black Cell variant, but moving on because we'll come back to that later. So on to page 6, it looks like you do get a large decal with some money, some passports, and some brass knuckles. So that's kind of cool. You get some double weapon XP, and you get a finisher move, and this finisher move is free. Excuse me, not a finisher move. It is an emote, one of the most famous emotes ever. You get to give the middle finger. It's fantastic. I don't know why we ever took it out. Moving forward, you do get a blueprint for the pistol, the Stider 22. That thing looks kind of cool. Looks like a Greek themed type of pistol. It's pretty cool. Not too bad. With an extended mag on there. It's pretty cool. Moving forward, you do get a spray, like a gulag spray. It's kind of cool. Nothing fancy. Moving on, it looks like we have another operator. This guy's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and give him a preview.
Yeah, party don't start till I show up.
This guy's kind of cool. I'm not even gonna lie. Again, it's a white skin, so I feel like he'll stick out. Maybe not so white. Maybe he'll blend into the grass in Verdansk because it does have that yellowish type of hue, but we'll see more of the colors on that tomorrow or on the 3rd, and we'll see how he works in the grass. But I think more than likely he will stick out. And he does come with a black cell variant, which we will check out later. Oh, and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. At the end of page 6, we do get the AMAX. If you guys remember the C56 AMAX, this gun is going to be absolute meta. We're going to check it out right now. Look at her. Fantastic. Look at this. You're going to have to work on ranking this one up. I don't think you have to do any type of conversion kit for this because you're going to have to level the whole entire weapon up within itself anyways. And you're going to get that with or without the battle pass within the purchase of your CP points. Moving on to page 7, it looks like we have another blueprint for the I can't pronounce this, the Starkov 762. That's what we're going to go with. It looks pretty cool, nothing fancy. I'm not sure how well this is going to work within the meta, but nonetheless, you do have a blueprint for it. Looks like we have an emblem here, which is not my favorite, so I'm going to move on from that. And you have another monolithic suppressor, which was extremely OP back in Verdansk and Warzone 1, and they brought it back, thankfully. And you're going to be unlocking it on page 7. So that's going to be huge. You're going to be wanting to use this on mainly every single one of your weapons because you do now show up on the mini-map without unsuppressed weapons. So this is basically going to be meta. So you have to make it unlocked, and that's why they put it like that. You are going to get it free. You don't necessarily have to buy the battle pass for that because that would be pay to win. Moving on to this charm. Looks like a bird of some sort. A steel sparrow. So you have that. There you go. And we have another emote here. No, it's a finishing move. Let's check that out again. That's kind of cool. He basically takes a coin out, hits it with his pistol, and finishes off the opponent. Very cool. Looks like we do have some more CP points as we move on here. These you're going to get for free. You don't need the battle pass for that, so that's pretty cool. Moving on, we do have the operator for Maya, which is kind of cool. This is actually new to me. We'll go ahead and check her out as a preview.
Everything's got a price.
Everything has a price. That's pretty cool. I don't like the belt. It's kind of weird to me. She looks kind of like Halo-ish, if you ask me. Or like advanced warfare type of situation she's got going on here. Pretty cool. So let's move on. She does have a black cell variant, which we will come back and look at very shortly. Moving on to page 8, we do have another finishing move. I know it's an emote. I always get these confused. It's pretty cool. He's got himself a crow with a ping pong ball. And we have the sniper rifle, the LR762, which this reticle, I feel like this is pay to lose if you would have to pay for this weapon. But let's check this weapon out real quick. It's pretty cool. Nothing too super fancy. It is like a solid black with a gold pinstripe. Kind of cool, but I'm not super impressed with it. And again for this reticle, as I said, I am not a fan. I feel like this thing's going to be blocking your sight more than anything, so I would not recommend using this. It looks like you also get some double XP, and we also have this calling card, which is pretty cool. It shows the little bird helicopter flying over stadium as the roof caves in. So that's pretty cool. And looks like we have a weapon sticker of a juggernaut. Again, I'm not too impressed with this. And then at the end of page 8, we have a blueprint for the Tonto. The Tonto did get a bit of a distance nerf, but it is still going to be viable because it got a damage buff. So I think this is still a very viable SMG at the moment. Again, we'll have to find out as soon as Warzone drops to see how it works out because they did raise the TTK overall in Warzone, buffing all the weapons. So there's this, and there is a black cell variant, which we will come back to. Moving on. At the start of page 9, it looks like we get a loading screen, which is pretty cool, called Blast Gal. Interesting name. Not a huge fan of that. I think I'll stick with my boys loading screen. Looks like you always get some double XP as well. And again, with this reticle that's square, you get this for free. And obviously, you would never get the battle pass and spend your tokens for this reticle because I think it is absolute dog shish. So anyways, moving on, it looks like you get an emblem for Black Ops 6 themed. That's kind of cool. Moving on, you get another blueprint for the AS Val. AS Val, I think, is going to be extremely broken within the meta pretty soon. I'm not liking these colors, though. It looks like old cheese. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this at all. But I feel like this weapon will be overly viable. So I think it will be pretty meta coming up. Maybe be using it as an SMG, but maybe only in solos or duos because it has a low ammo capacity. Nonetheless, there is a blueprint for it, and I think it's pretty strong. Looks like you also get some CP points here. And if we flop it over, you also get some gobble gums. The CP points, I think you get both of these. Battle pass purchase required for both of them. Moving on at the end of page 9, this is a pretty cool blueprint. We'll come back and look at that. But you have the plain Jane version. This is the shotgun. It's kind of OP. It's a semi-automatic shotgun. I don't like it at all, but it has gotten me out of some sticky situations in the start of a match in those up-close battles. Moving on to page 10, it looks like we get another emote. Let's check this out. Gives you a nice little salute. That's pretty cool. Nothing fancy. I've seen way better. They could do better, but it's cool nonetheless. You also get some double weapon XP for free. I know if you open the game today, you probably have that already. And the gobble gum you're going to have to get. Oh no, it's also free, so you don't need the battle pass for that. Very cool. This is another weapon sticker that they brought back from Black Ops Cold War, which is actually, you could also have it as an emblem, which is very cool. I kind of dig it. Moving on, you also get a submachine gun compact 92 Wolf blueprint. Again, I'm not very impressed with that. Nothing fancy or anything to talk about there. Moving on, we have a large decal. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I'm not impressed. So moving on to this calling card, Call of Duty Cold War. Again, not super impressed. Moving on to an operator, which we will preview right now.
Semper Occultus.
Pretty cool. Looks like she's a Brit. She's got a cool aviation leather jacket. It's pretty awesome. So it looks like she crashed her plane at some point and she has to find her way out. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And there is a black cell variant of her, which we will come back to. On to page 11. It looks like you get an emblem of a sniper in a tent waiting to take someone out. And then the second thing we have is free, which is a finishing move. That's pretty dope. You basically throw them down and blow them up with C4. That's kind of cool. And then moving on, you get a pistol, the 9mm PM blueprint. This is kind of cool. They always put the best stuff at the end of the battle pass, don't they? It's kind of cool. I'm not a big pistol user, but that's a pretty cool blueprint for it anyways. And it looks like we have the RCXD, and you also get this Lucky Charms charm. RCXD skin. Okay, so this is just a skin for your RCXD already. Okay, so fair enough. And you also get some CP points, and also for free, you get double weapon XP, which they basically give us every day anyways, and I'm okay with it. And at the end of page 11 is a gorgeous, gorgeous, wonderfully beautiful HDR, which we're going to check out right now. This thing's pretty cool. It looks like super silver or like diamond kind of check marks on here. And I have to say, I'm not sure if this one looks nicer or the one from the black cell, because I'm kind of digging this one the most. But nonetheless, that's what it looks like. Let's check this out. Ah, nice little preview of that. And that headshot, did you hear that? Wait, is that headshot? Those sound effects are not the sound effects that they said they were going to give us. Maybe that's just for this demonstration. Maybe that's just for the demonstration, and I hope it is. There's a black cell variant that we will come back to. Moving on, we have a spray of this body laying on the ground. Again, these sprays are going to be super OP because in the heat of the moment, when some player sees this on the ground, he will start looting, thinking it's an actual dead body, and by that time, you have already taken him out. So that's what these sprays are basically meant for. Also, he has a double XP, and then you also have another blueprint here for the assault rifle, the Model L, which this thing is ugly as hell. But I guess if you're wearing a ghillie suit, this fur that they applied to the body of the weapon will blend in as well. So maybe it's OP. Well, I guess we'll have to see. Moving on, it looks like you have a melee weapon skin for the hatchet. It's kind of cool. Let's give that a preview. All right, that's pretty much it. Nothing to see there. Moving on. Looks like you have some more CP points. Again, you don't need the battle pass for that because they give it to you for free. Anyways, moving on, you have a weapon sticker for the Bertha. Again, this is reminiscent of the first Warzone and the big Bertha coming there and the Bertha that they brought back currently. So that's pretty cool. And moving on, it looks like we have another operator here. We'll go ahead and give that a preview.
Rangers lead the way.
I have to say I'm not a fan. This looks horrible to me. I don't like it whatsoever. I would never in a million years get this skin. Like, I'm not a fan of the horns. But hey, maybe you are. So moving on, there is a black cell variant of that. But we're going to page 13 to check out this first operator they have here. We'll go ahead and give him a preview.
Time to get in the fight.
Cool. He says time to get in the fight. Very cool. Okay. Not much to see there. He looks pretty much the same all the way around. I will go ahead and turn him, at least so you can see the back, and that's basically what you get right there. He also has a black cell variant, which we will come back to. It looks like you also have a weapon sticker here that's not super amazing, so we're going to move on. We have a large decal, which is a dog. Okay, cool. We have another reticle again. I don't know what they're thinking with these reticles because I feel like this is blocking your view more than helping the view in the scope. I think it's dumb, but that's just me. Moving on, we have another weapon blueprint for the Maelstrom, which I believe is already in the game, and that's just as a skin. It's kind of a cool skin, not my favorite, but nonetheless, there it is. Let's go ahead and give it a preview. Yeah, nothing fancy about that, but there it is. Moving on, we have another finishing move, which we will preview. So he basically picks up, shoots him in the back, flips him, and shoots him again. And you also get some double weapon XP as well, which you're going to need it to level up these other weapons. Moving on, you also get some CP points, and that puts us on page 14. It looks like they're starting with a animated blueprint on page 14 for the PPSH. This thing is also going to be pretty meta, I think, as far as close range, because this thing already had a very fast TTK, and they buffed the damage up close. So this is going to be a very viable weapon, and I think that's also why they put it close to the end of the battle pass. Moving on, it looks like we get a calling card. There you go. It pretty much speaks for itself. And then we also have an operator here. This operator is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and give it a preview.
Lead from the front.
It's pretty cool. Again, though, a lot of these skins are very bright, and I feel like they stick out a lot. This dude looks like he's ready to go, though. I don't know. What did you think? He's got some, like an inch thick shoulder pads, steel shoulder pads. Looks like he's missing an eye. So maybe that's why they put those funky reticles on there just for this guy. Moving on. He does not have a black cell variant, by the way. Moving on, you do get some double XP, and then you also get a charm. This thing's kind of cool. The Truth. This is cool. I like this. This is that George Washington with, he's blindfolded by a blindfold that has the truth on it. I wish I could spin it more, but that's just all we see. That's pretty cool. I kind of dig that. Next, we do have a spray, which is a chair. Looks like a torture chair. It looks like it's for free. You don't need the battle pass for that, nonetheless. There you have. And we have a loading screen. It's kind of a cool loading screen. Not my favorite, but nonetheless, there's a new loading screen. You also get some CP points. And then at the end of page 14, you do have this operator, which we will preview.
Look sharp, people. We're on company time.
Oh, he's animated. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, that's cool. This is, I think this is the first animated I think this is the first animated skin they've put in the regular base battle pass. So that's kind of a W. That's pretty cool. I dig it. And he also does have a black cell variant as well. Moving on to the very last page. Look at this juiciness. Look at this. So you get an emblem that's animated. It looks pretty cool. You do get also a calling card that's animated. 100% Season 3. It's pretty cool. You also get this operator who looks like he is just absolutely ready to
Point me at the
destroy
fight,
it.
compadre.
Toro. Oh, I have a Toro operator as well. But nonetheless, he looks like a juggernaut. If only these skins would actually work as they look, would be interesting. So that's Toro, and he also has a black cell variant, which we will check out soon. This is also very cool. It looks like you get a weapon sticker of a gas mask with a gas coming out of the eye, which is pretty cool. You have a charm, which is a piglet with a mask, and it looks like he's enjoying himself with a bowl. And it's animated. That's the first animated charm that they've done. So this is cool. That's two very new things that they brought, which, you know what, I commend them for. That's very cool. Very, very cool. And then moving on, we have some more CP points. And at the very end of this battle pass, we get this epic animated blueprint. And this is not even black cell. That's a W. That's 3 animated items that's not in the black cell. You don't have to get the black cell for at least 3 animated items. That's very cool. It's the first time I've seen them do that. I think that is awesome. I am generally impressed that they gave us an animated skin and it looks cool to boot. And it's on the AMAX. So this is freaking awesome. This is very cool and I'm very impressed. And there is a Black Cell variant. Speaking of the Black Cell variants, what we're going to do is go all the way back to page 1 and look at all of the Black Cell items. So first off, with the Black Cell, you will get some instant rewards the second you get it, which you will be getting 1,100 CP points. You will be getting this emote. Looks like he's making a light show. That's a bit much, but okay, there you go. You will also be getting this blueprint for the XM4, which is kind of cool. Pretty banging. You will also be getting this finishing move. It's kind of cool. This reminds me of a finishing move we had back in WARZONE. And you will also be getting this clan tag. Black Cell clan tag? Is that new? I feel like this is new. A Black Cell clan tag to show you that you have the black, to show other players that you have the Black Cell. Interesting that. Very interesting that. That's new. And last but not least, for the instant rewards, you do get the OP broken Rose operator skin. But she's going to be a bit less broken because she's not completely all black this time. They don't even offer that variant, which is an L in my opinion. But this is the Black Cell operator for Rose. Go ahead and give her a twist. And there you have it. The light machine gun. So this is basically what you have in the Black Cell for this light machine gun here. You can check it out. It looks like an engine. It has these flowing gold sparkles. I'm not a huge fan, but nonetheless, I know a lot of people are. Moving on, we have this operator who is Black Cell. Looks like he's going to be blind because he has a VR set on his head. Let's go ahead and give him a preview.
Another day in the shit, gentlemen.
One thing I'll say about Black Cell, I wish they actually had more than just gold. They should do different colors like blue or red or something like that. It's always gold, and I don't know why. Nonetheless, there is another Black Cell operator for you. And we're going to move on. So this guy was pretty cool. We did say he was going to stick out like a sore thumb, but this is his Black Cell variant, which we will preview right now. All right, he curses. Interesting. But we get chat banned for cursing, yet the operator himself cursed. That's very interesting. Nonetheless, this operator does look pretty cool. Seems to follow the same theme as the other operators with the gold and sparkly look. So that's that operator there. Moving on. So we have this LMG that has the Damascus skin on it from Warzone 1's the main place I saw it the most. But let's go ahead and check out the Black Cell variant of that. Looks pretty cool. Again, it seems to follow the same theme. It looks like it has looks like it's basically living and works like an internal combustion engine with like pistons and valves here. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty cool. Moving on to this operator. Let's go ahead and give him a preview. There we go.
Thought you'd never ask.
He thought we would never ask. Well, that's why we came back, brother. I told you we were coming back. So in this variant, he still has the white mask, but the rest of him follows the rest of the Black Cell themed operators, where it is like this weird exploding body and the gold sparkles coming off of him. The same. Moving on. Let's see here. We have this operator for Maya. Let's go ahead and check out her operator.
Time to get my hands dirty.
I actually like this one a good bit more than the other ones that I saw. But again, it basically follows the same theme. Whereas they are kind of exploding and disintegrating. It's kind of cool. Not my favorite. Moving on. This one I was actually interested to look at, which is the Tonto in the Black Cell Battle Pass. Let's give that a quick preview. And again, it looks like an internal combustion engine. I feel like they all basically follow the same theme, honestly. And then I just apply that skin to that weapon. So it's pretty cool, but not my favorite. Nonetheless, it's there if you want to get it. And here's the shotgun that also is themed the same way, basically the same. And there that is. So we're going to move on. Checking out this black cell operator. It looks like she is
What is
falling
it this
apart
time, Adler?
less, yet she still follows the same theme, whereas they're keeping their main uniform, but changing it to the black cell theme, basically, is what they're doing there. So you can check her out. I'll spin her around for you, and that's basically what you get. Moving on. Next black cell option is the Sweet Juicy Poppy HDR. We're going to check that out. We also run the same look on the HDR as all of the other weapons. Again, they're just following the same theme on every weapon. It is pretty cool. I'm not sure I like this coming out. I think it's going to be distracting, like in the gunfight, if you look at it this way. Looks like kind of looks like a fish. Looks like a fish. Looks like a fish swimming through water. Look. Yeah, tell me that's not a fish in the comments. Moving on, we have this operator. Again, the one I did not like really whatsoever. Nonetheless, I will show it to you guys.
Just so we're clear, we do this my way.
Kind of looks the same, except more animated. His eyes are on fire. His horns are like disintegrating, like as if they're going into a black hole. I personally am not a fan, but there you go. Moving on. We have this operator here. Stone. Stone looks pretty cool. Stone has stones coming off of him. Looks like only half of his body is disintegrating. I guess only half of him got hit by the meteor. But there you have it. Basically the same thing. Let's look at the back of him, see what that looks like. Nothing great. Honestly, just follows the same theme as all of the other ones. So let's go ahead and move forward. Now this one could be interesting. Let's check this guy out. Because even his non-black cell is actually pretty cool.
We're on company time.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Looks like both of his arms are going to fall off because they've exploded, and looks like they're going into a black hole as well. But overall, I think he's pretty cool. But in my personal opinion, I like the non-black cell one more than this. And I think that is mainly because I'm not a fan of gold. But maybe you are and you enjoy this. So he's pretty cool. But in all honesty, I think this one looks better. Moving on, the next one we had is the Juggernaut, and this is the last black cell operator. But yet we have the last black cell weapon, which should be pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and check this guy out.
You had someone who needs to die?
Mr. Toro. Mr. Toro is not exploding like everyone else is bad. Looks like he's only got one arm that has an issue. That's because he's a Juggernaut and he can take more damage. But yeah, there's Mr. Toro right there. And let's get to the last but not least item on the blacklist variant of these weapons, which again, the non-blacklist is very cool to me. I will say. That being said, let's check it out. Oh, look at that. Now that is fancy. That's very cool. So the very last weapon, which is the C56 AMAX, is animated in two different ways. It has the glowing animation and the internal combustion engine animation. So they doubled down on this one and they put it at the very end. So I think is pretty cool. If I'm being honest, I am impressed with what they've done with this one. It's pretty cool. Again, I'm not a fan of the exact colors of it, but it is cool nonetheless. The main thing you need to focus on right now is unlocking the conversion kit for the Growl/SWAT, and that's in this video right here, so check it out right now. Or if you want to watch me unlocking these things live, you can check out the Twitch, which is linked to the channel. Good luck out there.